Shalom, shalom. All right, first and foremost, I'm going to start off by saying Barakathon, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashem Rakakadash. I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and shout out to the whole Filet, starting with the 144,000. Shalom. All right, Lord willing, real quick, I want to go into this lesson. We had a good camp earlier. Me and the brother Barak Kashai. But I want to, this come from spirit, through spirit, probably how about Shah as a lesson I was watching Elder Pastor Gabar, right? And I know Elder Pastor Rumline, he said, I ain't watched Elder Pastor Rumlines and Elder Pastor Hardy yet, but Lord willing, I get around to it. But they was going into, the British is just the king or something, the UK king or something, whatever he is, right? He was mentioning about that MOTB, right? He mentioned about the mark of the beast, how they want to put an RFID chip into everyone, right? And this is big because he's saying we're gonna do it to the whole world, right? And I just want to go into something, right? Because understanding that, like the elders were saying, this is what they've been speaking on for long, and everybody was trying to bring controversy about what the MOTB is and things and for so long the elders have been speaking on, right? And it's lately been on it. We've been on it hard. All the brothers do spirit probably how about Sean Shouts and GMS 100% true, right? Going into that MOTB, right? Because that's when, you take that chip, you're done, right? But in a sense, Lord willing, I want to go into because that's big, even just like tuning in with the elders, they lessons, thing that said, studying and being on that watchtower. Right, matter of fact, before we grab that, studying being on that watchtower because these visions are gonna speak, right? Revelations chapter 13, the with the angel showing, John the vision. And real quick, let me see if I can find it on Google, see what it says. Lord willing, bear with me. London, UK King talks about putting RFID chip in people. Okay, I think I found it. I don't know why it's not playing sound. Oh, it's muted.
Citizens interact with public services. My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of...
Okay, here it is. Like, here it is right here, right?
...for ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
Right, so let's watch it again so you can hear it clearly.
My ministers will also proceed with the introduction of digital ID that will modernize how citizens interact with public services.
See, right?
My ministers will also...
So you see, and you hear what you hear, right? They want to rank. That's what they want to do, right? Turn everything digital, right? And it's like, then they're gonna have a chip in your hand, man, to go out and do everything, right? You'll need it to buy, sell, and all that. And Apostle John, he was showing the vision, right? Because what it says right here, Revelation chapter 1, right? So verse 1 said the revelation of Yahweh Shah, which Yahweh gave him, right? To show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John, who bear record of the word of Yahweh and the testimony of Yahweh Shah, which is what? The spirit of prophecy, right? The testimony of Yahweh Shah Mashiach, and all the things he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand, right? Because this is a prophecy that Apostle John saw, everyone receiving that chip, that mark, the mark of the beast. Right, he's seen them lining up, taking the chip. Right, Revelation 13. Right, let's go to it. Right, Revelation chapter 13. Right, let's go to the Blue Letter Bible. Just like it. Let's go to the Blue Letter Bible. New Testament Revelation chapter 13. Right. This is how I want to see what it says in NLT. Right. So look, that's what it says in NLT. Right. Verse 16 and 17 says, he required everyone small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. This is the This is the vision he's seeing, right? That beast is what? America, NATO, EU, right? America, right? This place is ran by the Edomites, the so-called white man, right? Top back from the elites, right? It says he required everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be given a mark on their right hand, their forehead, right? This is how he writes to the best of his ability. So he's seeing people lining up and receiving this mark, this chip, right? Something that's pierced in their skin. He's seen it pierced in their skin. He said no one could buy or sell anything without that mark, which is either the name of the beast or the number representing his name, right? So understand that he's seen this happen, right? And it was written for us, right? Let's go to Romans. Right, let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 15 and verse 4. It said, for whatsoever things are written aforetime were for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope. So these things were written for us so that we can be on point, so we can be on that watchtower. So I didn't mean to close that out. So we can be on that watchtower, so we can be on point, so we can pay attention to the things around us that's going on, man, right? Because we know, I'm bugging, I'm all over the place. I want to go back to the Apocrypha, right? Second Esdras, right? 2 Esdras 9:1, he says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the sign paths which I have told thee before, then thou shalt understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? So there's a things written, prophecy written, that we're supposed to pay attention to the signs, and these things going to show us that what? Yahweh Shai is soon to come. Yahweh Shai is near to our salvation is nearer than we believe, man, right? And one of the last prophecies is what? The MOTB, right? We know World War III is already at its little peak, right? But when they get to its highest point, right, then they're going to happen to what? The MOTB is mandated. Then World War III going to pop up. Then, Lord willing, soon after that, we'll be up out of here, right? But these are things you got to be on point with, because you have the 5 wise and the 5 foolish, right? The 5 wise, that extra oil they brought is what? Preparing themselves with the whole garment, right? There's knowledge, understanding this truth, this wisdom, being on point. Wisdom and knowledge to be stability in our times, right? And the 5 foolish, they wasn't gridded up, right? They wasn't on point. They ain't bring the extra oil. They wasn't paying attention to the truth. They wasn't paying attention to the word. So they they took the chip. They felt like this was what was needed for them to stay afloat and survive in this place, right? And they failed and was taken by that beast, because why? Your adversary, the devil, walking around like a roaring lion, thinking who he devour. Anyone, right? He ready to get everybody. He ready to get everybody to turn him away from Yahweh Shem Shai, to help them fight against Yahweh Shem Shai, that war in heaven, right? But it's for us. What I want to go into, try to let you know, is watch and pray. It's for us, right, to be on that watchtower and watch and pray, right? Because these visions are going to come to pass, and these things were written for us so that we can be on point and we can understand. See, Yahweh Shem Shai is basically he. That's why we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. He giving us his moves before he even make his move, right? They say his chest not checking. We know his moves before he even make them. So when they mandate this chip, and we already knew he was gonna do that. We already knew he was gonna mandate it. And we know we can't buy. We know. Come on, do what you got to do, right? We on point, because watch and pray, be on point. Because the minute you get off that watchtower, the minute you think you all good and you think you take yourself in good case, guess what? It's gonna hit you, right? So Lord willing, like I said, I wasn't gonna make this no long scripts I want to bring out. Just in the point, that just hit me in the spirit earlier. As I was watching the lesson, I want to get it done before I went out of camp. But we did camp first, so Lord willing, still came and got it done. But you gotta watch and pray. You gotta be on point, right? What he said, watch and pray lest you fall into temptation. What's that temptation, right? That's going that temptation is what? The hour of temptation. It speaks about Revelation, chapter 3, verse 10. What's gonna come try the whole world? That's when that chip is mandated, right? It ain't talking about just 1 hour. It's talking about when the time of being when that chip is mandated. Who gonna take it and who not? But Jake gonna be so lost when it's mandated, because there's gonna be so much chaos and so much stuff going on in the world. They're gonna feel like that's their way up out of here. Oh, what I mean by that is that's their way to stay afloat in this place. That's their way to get out of it. That's their way to maintain the things that they have. That's their way to make everything peaceful and calm. Which Esau gonna try to profess it is that way. But all the time you're making a covenant or agreement with the devil, man. You sign your own death certificate, man. Right? So for the men we have Shem Shai in our nation, we supposed to be watching and praying, being on point. Because this temptation gonna come try the whole world. He's gonna come upon they trying to mandate, they pushing it. But as for us as well, right? That's why 1 Thessalonians speaks about it. Says you're not of ye brethren, you're not of darkness. What is that darkness? The wickedness, the foolishness, right? The evil, right? The Oh, scripture they gross darkness. Those are the ones who are lost. They're caught up in the way of this world. They don't got the light. If you have about outside, there's knowledge, understanding, this wisdom. They don't have it. They in darkness. So when this truth hit, when this temptation hit, guess what? They're gonna fall for it. They're gonna fall in it. That's why it's funny how I told them what? Watch and pray. That you follow the temptation. We gotta watch and pray. We gotta be on that watchtower, right? Like I said, so I got a priest I want to read, right? Habakkuk chapter 2. Right? I'm gonna read this in the NLT. It says, I will climb from my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what the Lord says and how he will answer my complaint. Then the Lord said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets. I'm talking about the Bible, right? So that a runner can carry the correct message to the others. The vision is for a future time. It describes the end. That's what's going on. This vision is describing the end by how the MOTB got air. It's describing the end. So how we gonna know? So we just read 2 Ezra chapter 9. It's describing the end. How we gonna know when the end of this place is? When these prophecies come to pass. That's how the scripture says we're gonna overcome him by the blood of the Lamb, word of his testimony. The testimony is the spirit of prophecy. See, we had the spirit of prophecy to know when we had to end this thing. So we ain't gonna be fooled thinking like, oh, he mandated this chip. Hey, but it's a new. No, but y'all just don't know. We had to end this thing. This thing is done, right? It says, it describes the end and it will be fulfilled. It seems slow in coming. Wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, right? And that's the point. You know, right? Wait patiently, right? Wait patiently. Watch and pray. Be on that watchtower. Be on point. So you can see the signs. You can see things come to pass, right? You can see when Esau making his moves, right? The next step is him mandating and pushing it out, right? So let's go to Matthew 26. And Matthew 26 and verse 41, right? And it reads and it says, watch and pray. I read verse 40. It says, and he cometh unto the disciples, he findeth them asleep. And when you understand this spiritually, speaking on real fast, you know, they would sleep, but a lot of Jacob sleep as well. Meaning, you know, he dead. He not woken spiritually. You know, a lot of Jacob sleep, man. A lot of Jacob ain't on point. A lot of Jacob got his sleep. That's how Esau keep creeping up on them and getting them, right? You know, because we woke through the spirit. That's why they say the spirit quickening. Those are those people who resurrect, those bones who came to life. Ezekiel 37, you know. It says, and he cometh unto the disciples and find them asleep. It says to Peter, what, you cannot watch me 1 hour? Here's the point. Watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak, man. So we woke through the spirit. So you got to, well, it's right here in verse 41 in NLT says, keep watch and pray so that you will not give in to temptation. So you won't give in to that hour of temptation that's going to come try the whole world, which is what the MOTB mandated, right? Which they soon to be on point. So you got to watch and pray. You got to be on point. You got to build yourself up. Lose knowledge and understanding. The whole armor is wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, right? Got to build yourself up. It says, keep watching and pray so that you will not give in to temptation, for the spirit is willing, the body is weak, man, right? So you got to be on point, because as soon as you slip up, hey, Satan's trying to grab you up. Well, yeah, what Elder Apostle Torah always says, when you miss a day, you miss a lot. Literally. Like this man literally saying he rated, they pushing it, man, right? They pushing it. So if, you know, another quote Elder Apostle Hart said in the video, man, if you can't see we had to end this thing, man, I don't know what to tell you. You got to be foolish. You got to be a sellout, you know, right? So, well, like I said, I don't want to make this no long one. I just want to go into that real fast and watch and pray and stay on point, because, hey, you know, we'll close out with this. You know, now it's how time, you know, to wake up out of sleep. Romans 13 and 11, it says, and that knowing the time, that is now high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than we believe. We know these are the end. These are the end things. These are the end prophecies that's going to wrap it all up, man. So you got to be on point and let you fall in it, right? Romans 13 and 11 says, this is all the more urgent for you for you know how late it is. Time is running out. Wake up, right? Because they sleep. Wake up, for our salvation is nearer than we first believed. Wake up, man, right? It says the night is almost gone. That wickedness, that darkness, the day of salvation will soon come. The kingdom of Yahweh Shah. So remove your dark deeds like dirty clothes and put on the shining armor of the right living. What is that? Now is understanding this truth, man, right? So now is how time to wake up. Get out that sleep. You got to be in your watchtower and pray, getting his word, getting his truth, so you can be ahead of Esau in his steps and his ways. We're not ignorant of his devices, right? Well, the MOTB is close, man. We played the video at the beginning of you seeing, right? He feel like it's gonna help the society thing. They feel like this they key to eternal life, man. Going to this digital system, right? This enterprise that they were trying to build, this new world order they were trying to build for the longest, you know. So you gotta watch and pray and be on point unless you give into temptation. Like the script say, so you will not give into temptation, man. Watch and pray. So with that being said, you know, Lord willing, right? I hope the lesson was edifying and exalting. And I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. And shout out to the whole elect, starting with the 144,000. Shalom.